Today's video is titled Narcissism, which is going to be really hard to read without my glasses, but let's get it started anyways. When I was about an age that you do not need to know, a few years ago, I mentioned to my mother that I was very, very vain. I figured I must be vain as I gave zero fucks pretty much all of the time. She gave me a very harsh look and she told me that no, I was not vain. She told me I didn't understand vanity. She told me that waking up in the morning and refusing, flat out refusing to leave the house until your hair and makeup were perfect, even if it takes 4 or 5 hours, that is vanity. I don't know how correct that is, but at the time I was feeling kind of bad. I was feeling bad because nobody likes a vain person, or at least I thought. Vain, for me, mostly equaled overconfidence, which, of course, this brought on the question for me, am I overconfident? Like that asshole that approaches you and starts a conversation with you, and then he talks to you like everything he's saying is over your head, or you just won't be able to keep up. I figured that couldn't be it. I surely am not overconfident like that guy. The difference is that my confidence doesn't wound, inconvenience, or insult anybody else. I feel like overconfidence is when something like that happens, and just regular confidence is while you're just regularly confident and you're not stomping all over other people. I hope that brings some of you a little solace in case you were worried about how you're treating people. So then, am I proud? This is still plaguing me. Everyone wants to have people be proud of them, which then gives you pride in yourself and your accomplishments. Some people are afraid to be proud because it is often seen as overconfidence, the aforementioned overconfidence. Just like vanity is often seen as overconfidence. I know that I have become aware of my own pride. Being proud of your works just means recognizing that you did well. There's nothing wrong with that. Rubbing it in people's faces is wrong. Telling other people about it, if done in the right way, it's just being happy. It's just being excited about what you've done and letting people know so they can be excited with you, and there's nothing wrong with that. After a while of thinking on it, this was a thought I had a couple months ago, actually. I just feel like other people need to know because narcissism gets a really bad rap, unless you have, like, the disorder of narcissism. I'm going to tell you about the origin. When I learned about narcissism, I had originally heard about Narcissus, which is, of course, where it comes from. Narcissus loved himself so much because he was so incredibly gorgeous that as soon as he saw a reflection of himself, he stayed there. He stayed there staring at himself, so in love with himself that he died of starvation because he couldn't bear to be parted from himself. And I thought, surely that is not me. Surely I am not that kind of person. Once I realized that narcissism is really just the loving of oneself, isn't that almost the same as actual confidence or high self-esteem? For some reason, everyone is assumed to feel low self-esteem. And if you have high self-esteem, you're clearly feigning it. There's very little assumption that you could really have high self-esteem because heaven knows that there's always something you don't like about yourself, right? Narcissism isn't being a self-loving megalomaniac. Sometimes it's just having self-esteem. Not even high self-esteem, just like regular self-esteem. Just like recognizing that you're kind of great the way you are. Without having to like go to special seminars and stuff. And if you go to those special seminars and it helps you, that's fucking fantastic, and I am glad for you because somebody's got to get something out of them. Narcissism isn't a bad thing, honestly, so stop feeling bad about it if you think you're super fucking awesome, because you should, because let's face it, we're all pretty fucking awesome in our own way. Narcissism isn't a bad thing, honestly. Stop feeling bad about looking at yourself in every single reflective surface you pass, because I think fuck yeah every time I pass by a reflective surface. Being vain is seriously a drawback. But if you are proud of being who you are and other people are opposed to that, fuck them. Just fuck them. Not everybody will like you. This attitude doesn't make you a lot of friends, but at least the people you're friends with like you for who you are. I guarantee liking yourself is way more rewarding than having everybody else like you, which is also impossible, by the way. So it's a little bit roundabout, but basically all I have to say is narcissism isn't bad, and stop feeling bad about feeling good.